Saying goodnight without struggles, a parent's guide to peaceful bedtime. As parents, we've all been there, the moment when bedtime turns into a battle. Your child resists, asks for just one more story, or becomes emotional as the day comes to an end. But have you ever wondered why this happens? For children, sleep isn't just about closing their eyes. It's a transition, a separation from the excitement of the day and the comfort of family. If bedtime feels abrupt or lacks emotional connection, it can trigger resistance. So, how can we turn this moment into a peaceful and loving routine instead of a nightly struggle? Seeds of Tomorrow helps parents turn bedtime into an opportunity for security, storytelling, and emotional bonding. Join us as we explore practical tips, soothing routines, and the psychology behind sleep, ensuring your child drifts off feeling safe, loved, and ready for a restful night. Subscribe for more parenting insights and gentle bedtime solutions. In this multi-stage storytelling approach, we'll explore how bedtime can become a cherished ritual, one that reassures, strengthens bonds, and helps your child feel secure as they drift off to sleep. Part 1. The Bedtime Struggle. Why does my child resist? It's bedtime. You've read a story, dimmed the lights, and told your child it's time to sleep. But instead of peacefully settling in, they suddenly need water, must ask one more question, or cling to you with unexpected urgency. Frustration builds as you wonder why saying goodnight feels like an endless negotiation rather than a simple routine. So, why does this happen? Bedtime is not just about sleep, it's a moment of emotional transition. Your child is moving from the active, secure world of being awake with their family into the unknown quiet of the night. This transition can stir anxiety, separation worries, or even unresolved emotions from the day. Here are the key psychological reasons behind bedtime resistance. Fear of separation. Sleep means time away from parents, which can be unsettling for children, especially if they haven't felt connected enough during the day. Their requests for just one more hug or one more story are often an effort to extend that security. Unfinished emotional processing. If your child had a stressful or exciting day, their mind might still be active, making it hard to wind down. Bedtime resistance often happens when children haven't had time to emotionally process their experiences. Loss of control. Kids crave autonomy. When bedtime feels forced rather than collaborative, they may resist simply because they don't feel in control of the process. Overstimulation or poor sleep associations, bright screens, sudden shifts in routine, or inconsistent sleep schedules can make bedtime feel like a battle rather than a natural transition. What does this mean for parents? Instead of seeing bedtime resistance as a refusal to cooperate, it helps to view it as a signal. Your child is asking for reassurance, connection, or a sense of control before they can fully relax. The key isn't just enforcing a strict routine, but making bedtime feel safe, predictable, and emotionally fulfilling. In the next section, we'll explore how a warm, reassuring approach can help transform bedtime struggles into moments of peaceful bonding. Part 2. The psychology behind bedtime resistance. Why does my child struggle to sleep? For many parents, bedtime resistance feels like a nightly battle, but beneath the surface, it's often rooted in a child's psychological and emotional world. To truly address the struggle, we need to understand the underlying reasons. Why children resist bedtime. Children don't resist sleep just to be difficult. They experience bedtime in a way that is deeply tied to their emotions, security, and developmental needs. Here's why. 1. Separation. Anxiety, sleep is a form of temporary separation from parents and caregivers. For some children, this separation can feel unsettling, leading them to delay bedtime to hold on to the presence of a loved one. 2. Lack of emotional closure. If a child has unresolved emotions, whether it's frustration from earlier in the day, excitement, or a lingering feeling of sadness, they may resist bedtime because they haven't had a chance to process their feelings. 3. Fear of the unknown. The dark, silence, and solitude of bedtime can feel intimidating, especially for younger children. Their imaginations may create scenarios that make sleep seem scary rather than comforting. 4. Disrupted routine. Children thrive on predictability. An inconsistent bedtime routine or sudden changes can create resistance, as uncertainty makes them feel less in control. 5. Too much stimulation. Before bed, if a child has been engaged in active play, screen time, or exciting activities right before bed, their brain is still in a state of high alert. Their body might feel restless, making it hard to transition into relaxation mode. The role of emotional security in sleep. When children feel emotionally connected and secure, they are more likely to embrace bedtime rather than fear it. The way a parent approaches bedtime through warmth, patience, and consistency can significantly influence how a child perceives sleep. A child who feels emotionally supported sees bedtime as a safe, predictable event. A child who feels rushed or disconnected may resist sleep because it feels like a loss rather than a comforting experience. How parents can shift the perspective. To turn bedtime from a battle into a peaceful transition, consider these strategies. Create an emotional bridge. Give your child a comforting moment before sleep, such as a short talk about their day, a loving hug, or reassurance that you're nearby. Acknowledge their feelings. If your child resists, instead of saying, "just go to bed," acknowledge their emotions. "I know you don't want the day to end, but your body needs rest to have fun tomorrow." Use predictable routines. A structured bedtime with repeated rituals, bath, story, snuggle, sleep, helps a child feel in control and secure. Give them a sense of choice. Let them make small bedtime-related decisions, like choosing their pajamas or picking a book to read. This makes them feel empowered rather than forced into bed. Transform sleep into a positive experience. Reinforce that sleep is a gift rather than a punishment by using positive language. "You're going on an adventure into dreamland. I can't wait to hear about your dreams in the morning." By understanding the psychology behind bedtime struggles, parents can approach nighttime with more empathy and ease, but knowing the reason is just the first step. The real transformation happens when we create rituals that turn bedtime into a moment of connection. Part 3. The Magic of Bedtime Rituals. How to make sleep an enjoyable. Turning bedtime into a peaceful and loving routine is not just about getting your child to sleep. It's about helping them feel secure, connected, and emotionally ready for rest. Bedtime should be a moment of comfort, not conflict. Through simple and predictable rituals, you can make this transition smoother and even enjoyable. Why rituals matter. Children thrive on routines because they create a sense of safety and predictability. A consistent bedtime routine signals to their brain that it's time to wind down, making it easier for them to transition into sleep without resistance. The key is to make bedtime feel rewarding rather than restrictive. Building a gentle bedtime routine. A well-structured bedtime routine should have 3 key elements: predictability, emotional connection, and autonomy. 1. Predictability, creating a comforting sequence. Children feel more at ease when bedtime follows a consistent sequence every night. A predictable routine eliminates uncertainty and gives them a sense of control over the process. A soothing bedtime routine could look like this. Bath time helps relax the body. Cozy pajama change signals winding down. Reading a story creates an emotional connection. Soft snuggles or a hug reinforces security. Lights dimmed and a calm voice saying, "Good night." 2. Emotional connection, reassuring your child before sleep. Bedtime isn't just about sleep, it's about feeling safe enough to let go of the day. Strengthening the emotional bond before sleep helps children release anxieties and trust that they are secure, even when separated at night. Gentle touch, a hug, a hand on their back, or stroking their hair. Affirming words, "I love you," "You are safe," "Tomorrow will be a great day." Reflecting on the day. What was the best part of your day? I'm proud of you for. 3. Autonomy, allowing small choices to ease resistance. Children often resist bedtime when they feel it's being forced upon them. Giving them small choices fosters a sense of independence and reduces power struggles. Let them choose their pajamas. Do you want the blue or red ones? Allow them to pick a bedtime story. Give them a gentle transition warning. We'll turn off the lights in 5 minutes. The power of a goodnight ritual. A short and meaningful goodnight ritual can help close the day with warmth and reassurance. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just a few comforting words can make all the difference. Example, goodnight phrases. I love you and I'll see you in the morning. You did great today. I'm so proud of you. Sleep tight, my little star. Transforming bedtime into a bonding experience. Instead of viewing bedtime as the end of the day, think of it as an emotional bridge that connects today with tomorrow. A loving ritual before sleep reassures your child that they are cared for and creates lifelong memories of security and comfort. Now that we've created a peaceful bedtime routine, let's explore the power of bedtime stories, a beautiful tool to calm emotions and enrich a child's imagination before sleep. Part 4. A bedtime story that heals the day. Using narratives to soothe your child bedtime isn't just about sleep, it's a transition from the energy of the day into the peaceful embrace of night. And one of the most powerful ways to help a child navigate this transition is through storytelling. Why stories are so effective at bedtime. Children process their emotions through stories. When told in a calm, loving voice, bedtime stories help them make sense of their feelings. A story can subtly reflect a child's emotions and struggles, helping them feel understood. Shift from resistance to relaxation. Engaging a child in a soothing narrative distracts them from bedtime anxiety and naturally settles their mind. Strengthen emotional security. A story that emphasizes love, warmth, and connection reassures a child that they are safe even as they drift into sleep. The ingredients of a healing bedtime story. A well-crafted bedtime story shouldn't be too stimulating. It should flow gently, reinforce themes of safety and comfort, and gradually lead the child into a state of relaxation. The best bedtime stories include a soft beginning, starting with a calm setting, like a peaceful forest, a cozy home, or a quiet night sky. A gentle conflict, something small and relatable, like a little rabbit who's afraid to sleep alone. A reassuring resolution. The rabbit learns that his family's love is always with him, even in the dark. Soothing language, soft descriptions, rhythmic sentences, and phrases that evoke warmth. Example, story, the little star who didn't want to sleep. Once upon a time, high in the night sky, there was a little star who didn't want to sleep. She sparkled and shined, afraid that if she closed her eyes, the sky would become too dark. But you need to rest, said the gentle moon. Even stars need sleep to shine brightly tomorrow. The little star hesitated, but then she noticed something magical. Every night after she slept, she woke up even brighter than before. She wasn't disappearing, She was preparing to glow. With a warm sigh, she nestled into the sky and slowly faded into dreams, knowing that tomorrow she would shine once again. Stories like these help children embrace sleep with peace rather than fear. But the most important thing they hear at bedtime isn't just the story, it's the final words you say before they drift off. Part 5. The last words they hear before sleep. How final reassurances shape emotional security. The final moments before a child falls asleep are more than just the end of the day. They shape how safe, loved, and secure they feel. The last words a parent says before turning off the lights become part of their child's subconscious emotional foundation. It's these reassurances that help children let go of the day with peace rather than worry. Why your goodnight words matter. Children are deeply sensitive to tone, emotion, and language. What they hear right before sleep influences their sense of security. Feeling reassured helps them transition peacefully into sleep without fear or resistance. Their emotional processing. Positive words allow children to close the day with comfort, not unresolved emotions. Their subconscious beliefs. Repeated bedtime affirmations shape how they feel about themselves and the world. The emotional power of a good night message. Imagine bedtime ending in frustration. Rushed instructions like, just go to sleep, or no more talking, lights off, can make a child feel disconnected, increasing bedtime struggles. Now compare that to words filled with warmth and reassurance. I love you, and I'll see you in the morning. You did amazing today. Sleep well, my little star. You are safe, and your dreams will be full of joy. The difference is clear. One approach reinforces security and love, while the other creates stress and resistance. Crafting a soothing final goodnight ritual. Your last interaction before sleep should be gentle, predictable, and emotionally grounding. Here's a simple formula: one soft physical reassurance. A light touch, a warm hug, or a gentle stroke on the forehead helps calm the nervous system. Two affirming words, a short sentence that reminds the child they are loved and safe. 3. A peaceful visual cue. Invite them to imagine floating on a cloud, hugging their favorite stuffed animal, or drifting into happy dreams. Strengthening the parent-child bond through nighttime affirmations. Instead of bedtime being just another task in the daily routine, it can become a sacred moment of connection. Children who regularly receive loving nighttime words develop stronger emotional resilience. They internalize the belief that they are valued and cared for, a calmer approach to separation. Goodnight words ease the transition into sleep, more peaceful sleep patterns. Feeling emotionally secure reduces nighttime anxiety, creating a tradition of loving good nights. These small bedtime gestures may seem simple, but they leave a lifelong imprint on a child's heart. Sleep should never feel like isolation. It should feel like a bridge between today and tomorrow, filled with warmth and reassurance. Seeds of Tomorrow is here to help parents build meaningful nighttime rituals. If you found this approach valuable, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more parenting insights. Let's make bedtime a moment of love, not struggle. Wrapping up, turning bedtime into a moment of love. Bedtime doesn't have to be a battle. It can be one of the most meaningful connections of the day. By understanding a child's emotional resistance, creating soothing bedtime rituals, and reinforcing security through storytelling and loving goodnight words, parents can transform nighttime into a gentle, reassuring experience. The secret is consistency, warmth, and emotional presence. When bedtime feels predictable and safe, children embrace sleep instead of fearing it, and with loving words before sleep, they drift off feeling secure, valued, and emotionally nurtured. Seeds of Tomorrow is here to guide parents in building strong, positive connections with their children. If you found these insights helpful, like, comment, and subscribe for more parenting wisdom. Let's make bedtime a time of love, not struggle. Thank you for being part of our community. See you in the next video.